One Sip 2 podcast,
yes,
number
9.
Wow, that's crazy.
Did you see how many people have viewed our podcasts?
No, but it's a bloody miracle.
It's no, we did Bloody Mary's the first episode. So yeah, we have over 1,100 on the first episode and over 1,000 on episode 7 and 8.
Well, we should say that this is a knitting podcast predominantly, but we delve into other subjects occasionally. I'm Jeanette.
I'm Joan.
And this is Knit One Sip 2. I guess you figured that out already. What are we drinking? We are drinking some magical purple drink.
Isn't this awesome? Isn't that like so much fun? And I'm in the process of trying to figure out some really cool cocktails to do with that. So I discovered this at Bevmo. It's called Empress 1908 Gin. My friend at Bevmo highly recommended it. It's this beautiful sapphire bluey purple, and it goes in the glass that color, and then when you add the tonic, it kind of lightens up and becomes a beautiful lavender. But it's just and it's got what do you think of these flavors? What are you getting?
I don't know. I'll have to try it again, but explain what colors it. Because I thought, red dye, but it's not red dye.
It's all natural. I gotta get my glasses. It's pea. What did I say? Pea
flowers.
Pea flower.
It's our vegetable serving for the day.
With delicate butterfly pea blossoms.
Pea blossoms.
Pea blossoms to create its signature jewel tone.
Oh, jewel tones are best for me. So.
Yes, me too. Me too. So, and it's got like a little rose flavor, a little cardamom. Not as much cardamom as the what's that other gin that I like? Venus. But it's got a very flowery flavor, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Botanical. Much more, well, most gins are botanical, but this is more, I don't know, it almost tastes like it's got like an exotic fruit in it. So anyway, highly recommended. Oh, and then the tonic that I have in it is this. I love this tonic. It's awesome. And they make a light as well. So what I've done sometimes, not this time, but what I've done sometimes is I'll go about 2/3 of the way with the light, and then I'll top it off with the regular. So those of you that are watching your calories, you can do the light and then the regular, and you'll never know that you've got low calorie tonic in there. But so good. I really like that tonic.
And so we're sitting in Joan's backyard from Monterey, California, in Monterey, California. And let's see, weather report for the day. It's beautiful, but windy, breezy.
Yes.
So that's our weather report, because I usually talk about weather and traffic.
Who do? That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I know. It's bad.
Well, we're entering our summer season because, girls go back to school next week, and then we have Labor Day picnic and on Monday, and then usually everybody's huddled under the shade for Labor Day. So guaranteed Labor Day will be like 80 degrees in the sun.
We get our best
80,
weather
90.
in September and October here.
Kids.
So I know. And the days get shorter and the weather gets better. But because we aren't meteorologists, this is not a knitting podcast. I mean, this is not a weather podcast. It's a knitting podcast.
That's true. You want to talk about knitting?
We should talk about knitting.
I could talk about Nutcracker.
Oh, let's not.
Well, the girls got their parts.
Oh, which is very exciting. No, she's not a dance mom. Let's see how Gary comments or edits this.
Something.
I don't even know what he puts on there. I never watch it, so I don't even know.
He's gonna say something.
Nutcracker,
I'm just glad he doesn't do like graphics with us picking our noses or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be bad.
That would be bad.
No, he would be fired as editor.
Yeah, there you go.
His pay would be cut.
Yeah, no more tequila. Cut him off. So yeah, no, rehearsals start beginning of August. So
beginning of September.
September. Oh God, I'm so dyslexic. Yes, beginning of September. So girls are excited. Macy is dancing in the part of. I always feel uncomfortable saying this, even though she's part Chinese. She's a Chinese. But it's the Chinese tea dance. Yeah, so she's dancing that role, and then Cece's dancing Candy Cane.
Cool.
So, and then they're both in Snow, and Cecilia's in Waltz of the Flowers. So this has been the big thing going on in my house. That and Cecilia getting her new tutu for her YUGP competitions. So
that's exciting.
That's been the excitement in our house lately. So
have you ever tried to knit her one?
No.
I've seen a knitted tutu pattern for like a little girl, like a little 2-year-old. It would be such a great dress up.
What's her name? From Pearls. Chelsea Pearls did one.
Did she?
Yeah. What's her hashtag? Public figure.
Oh, she did a tutu?
She did some kind of a tutu. Yes, I remember.
So it would be cute for like a little 2-year-old, but a lot of work for a dress-up costume.
I think it might be heavy when it comes time to pirouette and stuff like that.
Well, I think it's just like for fun.
It's just for fun.
Yeah. 2-year-olds, what do they pirouette? They just spin.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway,
that's the only
digress.
Thing I know about. Yes. Anyway.
So you're not wearing any knitwear today?
I'm not, because I have my shawl and it's starting to get chilly. So, but you go first. You're wearing knitwear.
I am wearing a finished object. My let's see, Leonie. Here, gratuitous. Although it doesn't really look like a chest shot.
Jeanette,
it just
turned
looks
out
flat.
So awesome, and I really like the way you redid that.
Yes, so I'll explain about that. This is Leonie by Julie Weisenberger, knit out of Taki Ripple.
It looks awesome.
Which is 100% cotton yarn. And so this is a bottom-up sweater, which was not my comfort zone. I like to be able to try it on as I go. I knitted on a size 9 needle. And here's a shot of I don't know if this light is picking it up, of the texture.
Yeah,
so size 9 needle, knit from the bottom up, and I was, I think, getting gauge and row gauge, but it's hard to tell on this yarn. But I ended up with the armhole like being only like 5 inches deep or something, and it wasn't deep enough for me. So instead of ripping back, I just added to both sides. So I added 3/4 of an inch here and 3/4 of an inch on the back, and so that dipped the front a little bit, but that little bit didn't bother me at all. I thought that would be fine. So I'm glad that I did that. It would have been really uncomfortable before. So I knitted the sleeves a little longer than it said, and I'm glad I did. I like the length, and actually could have even made them a little bit longer, but they're fine. And it's stretched out a little bit with where I wore it to work today. And then the overall length, I think I knit about to pattern, and I think I could have gone, I don't know if I can.
Here, wait.
Yeah, there. Oh, don't mess it up too much. No. But I think I could have gone even a little bit longer. But that's fine. Yeah, so I'm happy with it.
So cute. So cute.
So that's Leonie by Julie Weisenberger.
It was worth all the trouble. That was totally a process.
It wasn't difficult to knit, but the yarn made it difficult.
Right.
I did not enjoy the yarn at all, but but knitting it's
adorable.
I knitted some of it at Stitches Midwest, so that was kind of fun because it has good memories.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I associate some of my knitting projects with what was going on at the time. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the one that I knit.
Definitely.
Like during this competition season.
When my dad was in the hospital, I knit a lot, and I gave everything away that I knit from that time.
When Warren deployed to Iraq, I could not continue knitting the piece that I started before he left. It was just, for some reason, I associated it with him deploying. So,
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next. I'm going to skip over my FO. Do you have other FO? Well, just because that's a good segue into what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay. No, I don't have
any
more
FOs. Is it okay if I segue?
Yeah, segue all the way.
So speaking of projects that you don't want to complete, so I think I returned the yarn that I didn't use, but I think I still have some of that yarn. But when you knit your projects, they end up getting all crimpy, and then you have all this yarn, and you don't
mean like if you frog it?
Yes.
It gets crimpy afterward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not being clear.
Yeah, I've washed it and reskeined it to uncrimp it.
And that's what I was going to talk about. So for those of you that have all those projects sitting in the closet that you have decided you don't like, or you've gotten away from them for so long that you've grown out of them, like me, I got over my nervousness of frogging and reusing the yarn. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I bought this yarn to knit a cardigan, And then I think I got to the...
It's really pretty. It's a corally. It's showing up more corally on this green. It's a pinky coral.
It's Madeline Tosh Vintage in espadrilles. And I bought this to make a cardigan. I got to the armholes, and I think what happened was that it was supposed to be not a one-piece seamless knit. It was supposed to be pieces, and I decided to try to make it into a seamless, and I got to the armholes and I totally got lost. And then I put it in timeout, and that was like 5 years ago. So I finally frogged it.
Good for you.
And what I did is I wound the yarn. Oh, and it was just, since you don't want the pooling, you use two different skeins. So I was kind of unraveling two different skeins. But anyway, so I frogged it, and then I put it on my Swift, and then I did just like you do. I just did everything in backwards. Tied it off.
Looks pretty
right?
uncrimped.
And then I took a bowl of water and I dunked it in water, and then I hung it over some hangers out here and let it dry, and it uncrimped. I have this one is a little bit more crimped, so it was definitely worse than that. So it can be done. Get over your nervousness. So now I have a project's worth of yarn, and I'm trying to decide if I want to make the ranunculus out of this, or if that's going to be too overwhelming a color for a pullover sweater.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I mean, it's a pretty color.
Well, and like I said to you, I think I texted you and said, if we don't like it, we can steek it.
Yeah.
Because don't you think ranunculus would make a nice cardigan?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway.
It's very loose, and, it's like this. It's like loose, so.
Right. So, anyway, so that was so this is like more crimped. And you can certainly knit with yarn that is crimpy like that from having frogged. But it's just nicer when you're starting a completely different pattern to kind of be able to get gauge and really...
So you're going to swatch for ranunculus, or you don't?
I am going to swatch.
Cool.
I think I am going to swatch. And then, okay, so, I need to ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you store your skeins like this, or do you reskein them?
I'm pretty, I store them like that.
I
don't wind them really, really tight.
This is tight. Don't you think that's tight?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, but I don't skein it up usually until I'm ready to use it. So like at the store at Monarch, if I go there, unless I know I'm going to cast it on immediately, I just say, no, don't skein it up for me.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. Now, the next question is, so since this has been like this in my closet for a few years, should I put it on the Swift and dunk this too to get some of the loft back? You think it'll be okay?
I don't think so. I think it'll be fine, but I think you might reskein it. Like just
between now and the time that I start knitting it.
Although, just like by hand. It's worsted weight. It's fun.
I know. Oh, it's fun, huh?
I don't mind doing worsted weight. Fingering,
Yeah. I did that recently when we were someplace.
You must have been at Stitches.
Must have been at Stitches. No, you know where I was? I was in San Francisco because I bought some yarn and I wanted to start that wrap. That one that the Hohi wrap. So I sat there in San Francisco and wrapped yarn. So anyway.
So what else are you working on?
So, well, I have a FO. And then,
you do?
Yes, unless you want to go.
No, show your...
Well, because I've never talked about this before. So this is Ripples and Waves. So, and it's by Brioni Mannering. And I just think it's the most lovely shawl. So I modified this quite a bit in that.
Here.
So it's kind of neat because it was...
it's big.
It's stuck. There we go. I modified the size, as I always do. And I think I modified it into being a little bit bigger. And look you can really see the line on it.
Oh, it's so much more noticeable on the screen than it is in real life.
So much more noticeable.
I've never noticed it in real life.
Me neither. The pooling.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Oh, but I've never noticed it in real life. That's funny.
Well, and I don't mind it in a shawl. But anyway, so this is supposed to be more...
Oh, show the
Oh,
look
and
at
the
that.
Edge is just
cabley
so
edging is
much
really
fun.
pretty.
So much fun. So that, so basically it's kind of like it's for those of you that don't like cabling but kind of want a cable effect. because you really don't even need a cable needle to do this. It's just you're holding one stitch in front, knitting, and then knitting 2 or 3 stitches, and then picking up that stitch again to kind of get that effect. And then the edge, it was pick up, actually, was the edge live? Oh gosh, it's been so long.
We don't want to give away the whole pattern.
Anyway. That's true. But it was just really easy. It was a lot of fun to do the edge, and kind of get that beautiful ripple effect. And I made it longer, and to make it wider and longer, I kind of stopped adding stitches for a little bit on either side and just kept knitting. And then I finally added a few stitches and then cast off. So it's really a big shawl, but I wanted something that I could wrap myself in very comfortably. And this was, I think, season 1 of dance competition. Because again, it was a light color that I could knit in the theater. So, but yeah, so that's my FO.
Cool.
So that's all I have for FOs.
I have no more
You
FOs,
talk.
but
Yes.
Let's see. What have I been working on? A couple of things. I started working on my Soldotna. So after I finished this, I started working on Soldotna, which I talked about during the last podcast, how I chose the colors. But this is...
Oh, wow.
the
Oh, my gosh, you've
Soldotna.
gotten so far.
I've barely worked on it. It's just, it's
So
very potato
pretty.
chippy, as other podcasters would say.
What do
So
you mean
this
potato
is
chippy? What does
like
that mean?
you just can't eat just one. You know, you want to eat the whole bag. You want to just keep going because you want to see the next.
Yeah.
So it's on a tiny needle, so it's hard to see, but
Oh
that's
my gosh,
what it
Jeanette,
looks
it's gonna
like.
look so great.
And so
Oh
this
my
was my
gosh.
stash Soldotna. How this came about was that I just saw all of these yarns together in my stash and went, oh great, I only need to buy one more. This would make a beautiful Soldotna. But then it didn't when I swatched it. So I ended up having to buy 2 skeins, so it's only half swatched. There's a couple of things that I've learned about this project. So, well, first of all, I should talk about the yarns. The dark blue is a Sweet Georgia yarn that I had in my stash. I bought at Monarch Knitting, my local yarn store, years ago. And I had 2 skeins in my stash. And then this greenish color is left over from a shawl from yarn I bought at the very first stitches I went to in like
I know that yarn.
2012
Didn't you
or
make
something
yeah,
like that.
you made a shawl out of
Yeah,
it.
and I still wear it. And
And it
I
looks
love
great on you.
I love the green. So I just had enough left over for this green. And then the white I bought, which is white with speckly. It's really cool, actually. It has some speckles in it. I bought it Stitches Midwest, and it's from Cozy Colorworks. So you can see
Gosh,
the...
it looks it's
Yeah,
like
you
got a
can see the...
perfect-
I know, I did well without having it. So this
Man.
is this... Let's see if I can show
there.
it. So there's some like little speckly areas, and the speckle areas just
there.
are a perfect match, which is crazy because I didn't have the yarn with me. But this is Cozy Colorworks, and they were super
They were really
nice.
Yeah.
And it's in their ragdoll colorway. And then I got home and then put it all together, and I was like, oh, the teal color I had in my stash doesn't match. So I went to Monarch, my local store, and I bought this light color. And that's a swanky, magpie swanky DK. So that's that color.
Which is perfect. Gosh,
yeah,
it
it's a
doesn't
perfect, right?
That's so funny because it looks completely different here than
Yeah.
it does on this skein.
Yeah, but I really like the way it's knitting
adorable.
up. So there's a couple things I learned about this pattern. First of all, the neckline that shows, everyone who's made it knows this already, so I'm not telling anything new to anyone, but the neckline is very tight, and it's not what shows in the photo. So that's kind of annoying, but and now that I think back, remember I tried to try that one on in the 3 Irish Girls booth and I couldn't fit it over my head? It's because the neckline was too tight. So I cast on for a size like large or extra large neckline and then adjusted my increases. So right now I'm at the right amount of increases for my proper size, but I had to do some math to figure that out. So that's a little bit of a pain. I used a German twisted cast on to make it stretchy. And okay, what else? I realized I haven't done color work in years. And so I had forgotten, where's my start. Okay, I'd forgotten about a jogless join. So there's where like the beginning of my round is, and I should have done it jogless, right? So I'm going to do that jogless, like slip the first stitch down here, but I should have, so see the stripes are off. Yeah. So that's annoying. You know, I should have thought about that. It doesn't mention anything in the pattern.
Take a magic marker and just color it in when it's done.
Or I could, if I was really worried about it, I could duplicate stitch, but I actually think I'm not really going to worry about it.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is the increases throw off the stitch pattern. So there's an example. And I haven't.
Interesting.
And everyone's photo, like including Caitlin Hunter's, it's by Boylan Knitworks, including hers, you know, shows that same thing. It's just, I tried to do different increases. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm in another increase row, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with increases to minimize that change. So that's where I'm at on Soldotna.
Couldn't put the increases someplace in the pattern, like where you're knitting the same color a couple.
I know, right? Rows. But it's one. Yeah. You know, was true up here, but once you get to the rows that are one row of this and one row of that, which is where I'm at now, then right here, then it shows.
Right. Now, what's the body going to be?
The body was originally going to be this, but it's actually going to be the light with the flex. What do they call them? Fleas? I don't know. Yeah. You know, in color work, that little one stitch is going to be the green and the white.
Oh, pretty.
So, so you need the most, for this pattern, you need the most of this color. The dark color. So that works out. I have the most of that and it's fine. But
now in the pattern, is this, did you follow the pattern? The color pattern. In other words, this isn't supposed to be the body color.
Right. No, okay. I followed it.
Yeah. Very cool. Oh, Jeanette, it looks fabulous.
The only thing I think I'll deviate from in the pattern is maybe do some extra rows on the sleeves so they aren't quite so cap sleeves. But we'll see. I'll try it on when I get there.
It looks amazing.
So I need to put it on another needle because it's coming off the needle.
You know what I like is that this greenish yellow has got a little halo to it.
Yeah, it does. It's
really pretty.
It's a cotton alpaca blend, I think. Yeah. But overall, I think they all work together, even though they're all different yarns. They're all DK weight. I think they all work together just fine.
Isn't Amy doing a Soldotna too?
She is going to.
She hasn't started it yet, though.
Yeah, I think she's in grape harvest mode or grape mode, and
do it so we can see it.
I know, right?
I'm dying.
Yeah. So that's Soldotna.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm keep going.
Keep going?
I've got my. You go ahead. I'll get my other work in progress out.
Okay. The other thing I started so my Sunday tea I've been working on, but so a little pet peeve sometimes. I get why other podcasters don't show they'll just say, oh, I didn't put very much work on this, so I'm not going to show it. I get why, but if you've never watched a podcast before, you don't know what they're talking about, right? So I did take. This is my Sunday tea by Petite Knits.
Look at that!
And I did take it off the needles and try it on to make sure that I liked the fit. And I do. It was actually looser than I thought. And in that process, I lost some stitches. Oh. So when the light is really good and I feel up to it, I need to fix it. So it hasn't gotten much love, but that's my Sunday tea.
You've got a little bit of love. Really far on it.
Yeah. I have maybe another 3 inches or so in the body and in the sleeves. So yeah, I could wear that.
What needles are you using? Are these the faux?
Oh, this is the take it off. This is the faux signature. What are they? They're Knitter's Pride Zings, I think. They're the knockoff signatures. I like them.
Don't you love this?
I do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's that. Okay. Didn't get a whole lot of love.
So I'm working on this more than I thought I would, to be completely honest. Just because I'm excited. it's exciting to get to the next color. So that's where I need to do a color work sweater because I think I'll be the potato chip person.
Yeah,
so this is my fading
that's
point.
Beautiful. Oh, Joan, that's beautiful.
So
I love it.
And actually, I'm showing it from the wrong side. It's supposed to be on this side.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
So,
oh my gosh.
I mean,
love
I'm
that.
so excited.
Wow. That is beautiful.
And when it's blocked, this is going to totally stretch out. You're going to be able to see that pattern more.
That is beautiful.
And it's just got some nice stretchiness. So this is out of my La Bien-Aimée merino singles. And then I am in love with this handmaiden color. Look at this.
Curious Handmade?
Curious Hand. I think so. See all
That's
the different
beautiful.
speckles and everything? It's just, I want to make something else with that. So yeah, I'm really happy.
Wow, that is really pretty.
Really happy with the way it's turning out. To
Really,
the point
really
where,
pretty.
okay, so you're going to laugh. So I took a photo of it and I sent it to my sister who bought me the yarn. And I was like, look at how great it's turning out. She was so funny. She was like, so I've decided I just need you to pick a shawl for me and surprise me with a shawl with the yarn that I bought you because I like the shawls you pick. So
that's sweet.
Now I'm like, yeah, which was very sweet. So now I'm okay. Do I still want to do the Vertices Unite? Because she's got 5 colors.
Different? Yeah.
Do I want to do this for her? So I don't know. So
well, that's really cool. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So
are you enjoying knitting it?
I am. You know what? I have to say that the lace pattern has ended up being the first row of each lace section. You just kind of have to really pay attention to making sure you're getting it right. And then after that, every time you add more lace pattern to it, it's like, okay, yeah, I got to make sure this falls here and that falls there. So it kind of ends up being intuitive. But I don't know what I'm enjoying more, knitting with the La Bien-Aimée or knitting the pattern. But I am enjoying it, which is good because I have to make a whole other one of these. So I am a little worried that I'm going to play Yarn Chicken because I have to make a whole nother one of these and then the side panels, but I think I'm just going to make it. So yeah, so I'm happy with that.
Very pretty. What size needles are you using?
4.
Signature
needles.
The real ones,
not
the
ones.
knockoffs.
Yeah, the real ones. So, because you know me, I like a really sharp point.
Yeah.
So, which really helps when you're knitting with all this fingering. So yeah, so that's my. So that. Oh, and then I do have. Well, it's not a work in progress, but I have. Do you have other work in progress you want to share?
I do. I actually have a few.
You go ahead.
So work has been a lot, and at night when I get home and I'm tired, I just haven't had the bandwidth to work on Soldotna much, or follow the chart, which isn't difficult. Really, it's not. It's just that I'm tired. Or fix the Sunday tea. So I got out my crochet. So I traded minis with one of our viewers, Susan from Delaware. And so I started crocheting up for my not granny stripe, for my, it's called Bear's Rainbow Blanket. That's the pattern I used. And so I started crocheting the ones that she gave me. So I've had such fun this week doing that.
And she dyed these, right?
She dyed a lot of them. She didn't dye this one, but she dyed those.
Oh my gosh.
I think she dyed this
one.
That.
That's pretty. Oh, look at that.
I think she might not have. I can't remember now. But I just started crocheting them, and I'm not. Oh, this one was from her. This one was from you.
Oh, what
yeah.
is that in?
That was like a mutant melon. It was from one of the minis that you gave me for my birthday.
Oh, from one of the minis.
And this is another one from one of the minis you gave me. This is from Susan, I think. So anyway, I have about 100 of these squares done. Oh, I don't know. Whenever I decide that, they're about 5 by 5. I need to start blocking them because I need them to be 5 by 5. And like you can see this one, is it this one? There's one that's a lot bigger. Oh no, it's this one. This is one of them from Susan, but she didn't dye it. But it's a chunkier fingering weight, and you can see the difference between that and where's the one that you gave me. This one is So I need to get them, looking more like they belong together. But anyway, they're not far off.
Where did I see like a blocking thing where you stick these on the 4 pegs?
Yeah, that would be, I need to have Gary
see that?
put me something together. So that would be ideal.
Put you something together?
Put me something together. Something together for me. Words.
About half of that gin and tonic.
It's Friday afternoon.
Put you something
rough
together.
Week at work. Words.
These are like
fail me.
so cute.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So and I don't really know how to,
colors.
I was never really trained to crochet. Like I was never taught that doesn't make sense. My aunt taught me when I was a child, but I don't know proper crochet procedure. But anyway, it's fun. It's mindless and
it's adorable.
Fun. And the pattern, I forget it from time to time, but it's a free pattern from Pearl Soho. So I just look it up and
I keep saying I'm going to start one. I've got one in my
you
faves.
should. Yeah.
Not a crochet, a knit. But
it's a knit.
I think my problem is it's like, no. If I do something like that, it's taking time away from something big.
Well, that's true. It takes time away from sweaters. But this has just been fun. And it's fun to see it come. It'll be fun to see it come together. I started it in December of 2017.
Oh, wow.
And I made myself knit one. It was like my own little Advent thing. You know how people do Advent calendars and you buy the yarn? Well, I hadn't bought the yarn, and I was like, I feel really sad for myself. Oh, poor me that I didn't buy Advent yarn. So every day I just knit a different square. Crochet. Thank you.
Don't want to offend the crochet people.
Words. They're hard.
Yeah, well.
So that has been occupying my time also. And then I have one more thing that's been occupying.
Well, so you've got 100,
time.
so 10 by 10.
Yes, I have around 100. I was thinking more like 150. I wanted it to kind of be big.
You want it like a king size?
I was thinking queen. Isn't that 60 by 84? I could be wrong. I don't know.
I have no
I don't know. I'll figure it out. And I didn't want to put it together until I had all the colors and could kind of arrange them the way that I wanted. But that's trouble.
It'll be fun.
You know how I feel about trouble. It's always bad.
It could be exciting.
It could be exciting. Trouble could be exciting.
Trouble can be fun.
Okay.
So I started swatching from my Love Notes by Tin Can Knits.
My sister finished hers and she sent me a picture. It's beautiful.
Really?
It fits her beautifully. I'll show you a picture.
Well, so this is the Three Irish Girls yarn.
So pretty.
So yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's so soft. It's very drapey.
And the colorway is like controversy or something.
Yes. See, this is why I keep you around.
I don't know how I remember these random things. It's really weird.
Because colors and names and stuff like that are elusive to me, and numbers. I've just decided my brain is turning to mush and I'm becoming useless.
No, not so.
But anyway.
We remember what we need to remember.
Yeah, I guess.
But why do I need to remember that color is called controversy? I don't
Because
know.
I need you to.
Okay. I'm glad I have a purpose.
There you go. So anyway, so I swatched and, swatching. So number one, I adopted this really cool method of keeping track of what size, and everybody might know this already, but to me it was new a few years ago, where you yarn over and then knit two together the number of you do that the same number of times as the size of your needle. So this is, I think, a size 7 needle, so I have 7 eyelet holes. And then I did a garter band, just like knit a couple rows to kind of separate that. And then I did my next swatch. So this is the next needle up. So I'm doing this all, and I don't know why, but everything kept gauging very similarly.
Oh.
So I switched gauge counters, and then I started getting the size that I needed. It was just odd. I don't know why, but I guess the moral of the story is maybe if it just, I didn't understand.
If you don't like what it says, remeasure.
Yeah.
With a different gauge ruler. And then it will say what you want it to say.
It was very frustrating. So, because this is a 7 and this is a 10, and it wasn't coming out all that much differently. So I did a couple things. So I after I gauged it, then what I did is I worked in reverse. I saw, how did I do this now? God, my brain's mush.
Did you wash it? Did you?
No, I haven't washed it because it doesn't say
It's
to.
super wash. It's gonna
Stretch? Well, that's why I think I'm going to go with the smaller of the sizes. And I figure it's very stretchy. So anyway, so basically I did some math. I took the number of stitches that were in the size I thought I should do, and I divided it by my gauge to see, which ultimate size I would come close to. And then I did it in reverse. I took, it was going to be 44 stitches, and I multiplied it by my number of stitches per inch to see how many stitches I'd need in the body.
I see.
So I just kind of messed around with it. But yeah, so I'm ready to start.
And which fabric do you like better?
I think the one in the middle is the one
I like
that
the
I'm
one in the middle too.
I think this is just a little bit too loose. So so this is on I think an 8. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? Nope, there's another one. 8. So this is on an 8. So yeah, so I'm gonna I started you have to do a provisional cast on. So I started doing my little crochet thingy, and then I got interrupted. So I'm gonna start this tonight. Provisionally cast on tonight. So yeah. So hopefully I'll have something more exciting than that to show next Koozie What's It podcast. You're next. Do you have anything else?
I do.
What's that pretty yarn you over there? That
I do
stuff.
have one more thing. So years ago, I made these beer koozies or koozies, depending on where you live in the United States, how you say it. But this is what it looks like. Oops, sorry for the close up. Yeah.
Perfect. Oh my God, who's
so
gonna
that's
drink
what
a
it
beer
looks
that
like.
big?
And I use them for cans or for beer bottles or cans. And I really love them. They're obviously felted. So I made them years ago, and the pattern was by Knitting at Noon, Knoon. And it's been taken off of Ravelry and the internet. I think it was a free pattern, but it wasn't anything I ever printed off.
Yeah.
And I made several iterations of them. No, it's not available anymore.
It wouldn't still be in your library? You wouldn't have...
No, it's not there.
That's
it's like bad. It was like a, go to their website kind of thing, and it just says it's not available. Yeah. So someone reached out to me on Ravelry and asked me how I made them. So I thought, okay, we can do this. So I started recreating it. This is the exact same yarn. I love this wool from Hobby Lobby. I bought it years ago. I don't know that I would buy it now, but I love this wool from Hobby Lobby. Same exact yarn, the felted version. So anyway, I'm helping her out with like trying to figure out, you start at the bottom and you make a circle. And so I've done it several times and ripped it out, and several times and ripped it out. And so
that's like the Color Pop. I bet you if you looked at the Color Pop blanket,
it starts with a pinhole cast on, which is a pain in the. You don't need a pinhole cast on for this because. You're saying that the pinhole. Oh,
I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I thought you meant this starts with the pinhole.
Oh no, this is a regular cast on because it's not. There's
that I remember.
There's
that
a hole in the middle, but that doesn't matter because you're going to felt it, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you could do the pinhole cast on and do a whole circle, but I didn't want to tell her like do a pinhole cast on and for no reason, right? Because it felts up, it felts up to a closed bottom. So, I mean, you can't even tell that the top it's all stockinette here, and then the top is a purl row, but because it's so felted, you can't even tell it's a purl row.
Right.
But anyway, so I'm working on that, trying to get that, like...
Did you felt that in your washing machine?
I did. I felted this in my washing machine.
Did you have a front loader at the time?
Every day. I did. Mm-hmm.
So that felted in a front loader.
Yep.
That's impressive.
Just fine. So what I've done, I played around with it quite a lot. I've made quite a few of these. More than I have put in Ravelry for sure. How I did it was I put an old pair of jeans and put that like in a lingerie bag, and I washed it on hot, and then I double checked it. And depending on the yarn, some felt faster than others. Some take multiple feltings and some don't. So You just kind of have to play around with the yarn. But anyway,
Yeah.
working on that. So hopefully I'll have a finished cozy / koozie with the new made up pattern that, I'm trying to recreate from memory. So
Right. That's cool.
yeah,
Yay.
fun. I need more anyway, because one of them, I don't know what happened to them. They probably, I don't know.
Gary washed them and
drinking
they
all
shrunk
that
down really
beer,
small.
drinking all that beer.
All that
no.
tequila. You need to make little koozies for his tequila glasses.
Shot glasses. And do you say koozie or cozy?
Cozy.
I say cozy.
Cozy.
Others say koozie. Koozie, cozy, tomato.
You need to keep that beer cozy.
Yeah. So making more beer cozy. So it's kind of fun to delve into these other projects. And, I've been on the sweater kick.
Yes.
So what about you? Do you have any more works in progress?
That's it. I haven't. I mean, I'm still working on my leg warmers, but...
You know what I have to start? A caveat hat. So in stitches,
underbelly of the musk.
The underbelly of the muskox. So in Stitches West this year, 2019, a friend asked me to find some caveat and make his brother a hat for a birthday gift, because his brother had one that he bought in Alaska and he lost it. So
you have to say what caveat is.
What's the underbelly of the muskox? I don't know. It's some fancy fiber. So I'll be showing it. They do sell it at what was the group? Windy Valley Muskox or something like that. Windy Valley something is the name of the people that I bought it from at Stitches. And so I bought it, and his birthday's coming up, and I actually need to knit it now. I'm going to be starting.
That might be really fun to knit with.
It's going to be interesting,
Although
right?
I have to say that don't make any mistakes, because all those long hairs look like...
It's going to stress me out a bit. It's got some halo to it. It's going to stress me out just because the one little ball, and it's about that big, was like $150.
Yeah.
So it's going to stress me out.
So beautiful. It's so soft and so drapey. I mean, I coveted it for a shawl, but I can't throw down that much for something that I might lose.
So one, he asked me to make a basic hat. So I'm either going to do a basic ribbed hat or a basic stockinette hat with a rib brim. Mm-hmm. I think ribbing, especially because, he's not going to be able to try it on and it's going to be all done. I do have the head circumference, but if any of you have ideas for like basic hat pattern that isn't complicated, that would, the yarn will just shine.
Right.
So I need to start swatching for that and try to figure out what size needle.
Yeah, don't swatch too much.
I know, right? I'll rip it out and I'm going to be nervous wreck. And if dog hair gets in that caveat, I'll be super stressed. No. But he has a dog, so the guy who the hat is going to. So
okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, so I'll be doing that. And then what else do I have? I need to finish my Sunday tea. I need to finish Soldotna. I still have a sock project for sweater. Probably the J sweater. The sweater that I bought the yarn for at Stitches Midwest that I talked about at the last podcast.
That's right. We
didn't talk about our birthday giveaway. What dorks we are.
Okay. Go.
We talked about this right before we started podcasting, and now we're completely forgotten. We have our birthday giveaway. Yes. It ended August 15th, and so we get to give away a bag and some yarn and some goodies to one person. So before the podcast started, we did random number generator, and I'm going to leave it to Joan to tell who won.
So Christina she's from Nova Scotia won. Her Ravelry name is CT Bieber, so that means she's either a relative of Justin Bieber or wishes she was.
And I think she was comment number 51.
Yes,
who
she was
said
comment
that
number 51.
She's a fair distance from her local yarn store.
Yeah, so bringing her some California yarn.
Yeah, that's cool. Going all the way to winging its way to Nova Scotia.
So
which I've never visited Nova Scotia. Someday.
So message us and let us know that you saw that you've
Christina,
won.
Yeah, message.
And get us your address.
Message me, probably me, but either one, it'll get to us.
Yeah, either way. So, and message us on Ravelry so that, it's just between us as far as where you live and all that. I don't think you want to do it on YouTube. That'd be bad.
That'd be bad.
So, and then do we want to talk
about a lot of visitors?
Yeah, seriously. Do we want to talk about our next giveaway?
Yeah. Yes. You
okay.
go.
Okay. So, Sarah, how do we decide we pronounce that?
Shira.
Sarah Shira, from Imagined Landscapes, contacted us and said that she would like to give our viewers, give us something to share with our viewers. So we're doing a giveaway. This is going to
awesome.
be, it's fabulous. It was so generous of her. So this is going to be a fast turnaround because it is a mystery knit along that's starting the 7th of September. And it is, what is it called? Hang on a second. It's called Oh Gnome You Didn't. So Sarah is an amazing designer of gnomes. Look at this. Are those adorable?
Yeah, those are cute. So that's a picture of
not
other gnomes.
Some other gnomes that she's done. So she has, so if you go to Imagined Landscapes on Ravelry, just search for that. You can see some of the gnome patterns that she's done. This one is a mystery knit along. It's going from the 7th until, that was brilliant. There we go. October 6th.
And it's fingering weight.
Yes.
I think it doesn't take much yarn, so you could probably do it with fingering weight scraps.
Right. And then she's giving away prizes as you go if you post photos on Instagram, and all of the details will be in here. She says, as I release new clues, the system sends out emails to your address as well as personal messages you on Ravelry to let you know that there's a new file to download. So I've never done a mystery knit along. Have you?
No.
This would be fun.
Typically not my thing, but I think this would be a fun one.
Because it's small and it goes
it's a
quick.
Gnome. It could be a little ornament on the Christmas tree if you celebrate that.
Yes, and you know what? You could do fall colors and use it for your Thanksgiving table. You could do
that would be cute.
Christmas colors and use it for your Christmas.
And she gives you some ideas of like, go to the next page. She says, next one maybe. Color 1. Color 2 can take anything in terms of variegated or speckled. Color 1 is mostly semi-solid or solid. So color 3 is for the hands, and then color 4 is like great for a pop of color. So it sounds fun to do.
Yeah, it does. I think I'm going to try doing it.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I think it's just
easy
and cute.
Yeah.
I mean, and I like doing stuff like this, and I'll follow the directions the first time, and then maybe if I love doing it, I'll maybe do it out of a thicker yarn the next time.
Make a bigger guy.
You can make bean bags out of the...
that's a good idea. Yeah. You could make an ornament. You could change it up. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, looks so cute. So anyway, this starts on the 7th, so I was thinking we could do the drawing on the 3rd. And since it's a quick turnaround, we will let the winner know via Instagram as well as on Ravelry.
So to get into this, to put your name in, what do people have to do?
I'll start a thread tonight on Ravelry, and then what should we have them tell us?
Ooh.
Something fun, like, I don't know, a holiday tradition.
Sure, holiday traditions are fun because I'm already starting. I don't even
holidays.
knit for Christmas or holidays usually. I usually don't, but I'm starting to think about that, which is super weird for me. But
I'm not thinking about knitting for the holidays.
I should take advantage of it and actually do it because I don't usually. Usually, I'm all about knitting for me.
Well, you have knitted. You've knitted for socks for people.
Yeah.
So, but any kind of holiday, I don't know, should it be any kind of holiday tradition, or what are you thinking of knitting during the holidays? I don't know.
Not everybody knits for holidays. I don't know.
That's
we
true.
didn't. Yeah, we're very fluid about.
Well, you know what? The thread is going to be on. It'll be entitled Gnome Giveaway, and I'll make something up, and you can read the thread and
wing it.
I do have to say, I really enjoyed hearing about everybody's yarn stores.
Wasn't that fun?
Oh my gosh, I so want to travel around and you know.
Yeah, it was so fun. Thank you to everyone
Yes.
who actually commented and put your name in the birthday giveaway, because it was fascinating. I wanted to comment on so many of them, and we couldn't. But
Yes. I want to travel around and check out all
we
the yarn
should like
stores.
on another podcast take one and like, listen to this one, and you know, and then
We should
like,
read them. Yeah.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
So
I like my local yarn store much more than the one that used to be my local yarn store. So back in the day, there was another local yarn store, and that's where when I wanted to like kind of as an adult relearn to knit, I went there. And she basically knitting shamed me for my throwing method that I had learned as a child, and so tried to get me to switch to Continental, but she was not nice. She was not nice.
I think a lot of I remember as an adult going to yarn stores, and there seems to have been a reputation where a lot of the knitting people weren't fabulous as they are now.
She was not nice. No. And so I went because it was local and it was my only option, really. But the one that we have now is they're so nice. They're so.
Okay. So what else? All right. So let me make sure. Oh, did we talk about how many subscribers we have? Already?
I think you mentioned it at the beginning.
Okay. So I think that's it. I went to a yarn shop.
That's
I posted
what we do.
I posted on Instagram. I went to Yarn Shop Santa Cruz, adorable little store, packed with yarn, and I loved the way that they had so much from the local community. They had 2 indie dyers that were local. I can't remember one of them, but the other one was the Dye Project. And then they had all these notions of cards and tags and what else did they have? Bags that were made by locals. And so
Nice.
I just love that. And the first thing that popped to mind is you gotta like shop local. What a nice way to shop local, to not only support the brick and mortar, but to support the people that have stuff in the brick and mortar. So check it out. Like I said, it's called Yarn Shop Santa Cruz.
I've never heard of it.
It's just off of the main drag, the main downtown area, not by the beach, but the downtown area.
Yeah.
So
I've heard of the Swift Stitch, which isn't far from there.
Yeah, we didn't make it there. But it was just really, the gal in there was really sweet. And they had a nice selection of yarn, and it was bright and sunny, and had a nice experience there. So if you're going up Pacific Coast Highway, it's a nice place to stop. So,
and we promise we'll do better in show notes. Let's just start with this one. Yeah, we'll start with this one.
Yeah.
And do we have any toast to anyone this week? Who do you want to? I think we should toast all the people that posted in the birthday thread.
Yes!
I loved that. Seriously, made my day. I would read those and think, oh my gosh, this is so awesome to hear about where someone else lives and what it's like where you live. Some people have lots of choices, some have none.
Yes.
We have basically one within an easy driving distance, and
Yeah.
Santa Cruz isn't so bad as far as driving, but it's
true.
an hour.
It's true. Yeah. No, that's
So-
true. And we're really lucky that we also have Stitches West not too far away.
True.
So, I mean, we
True.
can, it's only once a year, but still, you know. So, but no, it was a lot of fun, and everybody was so generous with sharing information and sharing their stores. And I think her name is Lynn. Lynn sent me a cruise chicky recipe.
I saw that. That's so exciting.
So excited.
She needs one of those little
Yeah, I've got to send her a little
progress keepers.
Or a little.
Oh yeah, but she needs a cruise.
Oh
how do you say
yes,
it?
a cruise chicky. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, thank you. I'm so excited. I thought that was great.
So that's a good way to end. Toast to all the people who posted in the birthday giveaway.
Toast to cruise chicky recipes.
There you go.
So and
Happy knitting.
Coco's telling us it's time to end. So
Yes. Hello. Happy knitting.
the record machine. I knew he must have been about 17. He was strong, playing my favorite song, and I could tell it
If we're on or if we're off? Oh, we're on.
Already on?
Yeah. I just
Are you
turned it
sure?
on. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Look at. Yeah. See, 1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6. We're so good. We're amazing, you know that?
We are. Well, if we don't tell each other we're amazing, then who the hell's going to tell?
Right?
You know? I mean, Warren's pretty good that way. Is Gary good that way?
Telling me I'm amazing? Yeah, he's pretty nice.
Yeah.
If I give him enough tequila, he'll do anything.
You poor guy. He's going to sound like, you know,
I know.
walks around with a bag of limes, some salt.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh, no, we don't need limes and salt. Just straight up tequila. Who needs limes and
Straight
salt?
up.
That's for lightweights.
That's true.
No,
Well, it's
just
also
kidding.
for crappy tequila.
Just kidding.
So, anyway.
Just kidding. I'm making him sound like a lush, but it's not true. Anyway, enough of that.
Speaking of lushes,